Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Chayelam Shahakol Nidbar.
נכון,
Chaim.
coming.
Okay, welcome, folks. We continue with the discourse, the mimer, Anila Deidi. Excuse me. So we're speaking about two different types of Vaida, different divine service that deal in different directions, affect in a different way, and affect the two aspects of our lives in unique ways. And the bottom line is, whatever the status quo is in our lives, there always needs to be a change, growth. That's what, kind of defines, shall we say, a good life. And we're always growing. And the very fact that those who are joining for the class is a statement, a testament in and of itself that you recognize that, and that's why you're here, which is amazing. So, the nature of the soul is to be removed, to experience things lofty, beyond. So to go against the soul means to bring it down into the nitty-gritty, into even into materialism, into the mundane, in order to bring godliness there. What's the power that gives us to do that? It's the Torah, right? The power of the Torah. Torah is from above to below. The soul wants to go from below to above. So the power of the Torah gives us the capability of engaging in the mundane, engaging in a material world. And that way, we go against the nature of the soul, and we stay, so to speak, stay down here. Now, what do we stay down here for? Well, it's because we have a body, and that body, its nature is to go downwards, is to be drawn to materialism, be drawn to, to live in your little cocoon, if you will. So what's going to affect it? Well, something that's going to move it upwards. And what goes upwards? Prayer, right? Prayer is that ladder. Oh, whoa, my gosh. Amazing. No one. I never said that. Now we won't talk about anything at home. This is a safe refuge. Welcome, welcome. So prayer affects the nature of our body. The body, again, is drawn downwards inwards, right? The body is like, the body only feels its own pain. It feels its own pleasure. The body doesn't want to share any pleasure with another. It's your soul that wants to share the pleasure, right? But your body wants for yourself. So it's inward. So how do you get it out of itself? So that's the idea of prayer. Prayer is climbing up a ladder, and it's allowing step by step that the nature of the body should be elevated. Now, there's a little difficulty over here is because the body, just prayer on its own is not going to help just the nature of the body. It's because we're a compound between soul and body, so we need the soul to empower, to what's the word I'm looking for, to inspire, to engage. That, think of it, we have like sometimes two voices in us, right? We have a voice. Well, let's start with just two, okay? Let's not go more than two. Let's say one that's telling me just, what's good for me, right? And one that's telling me what's good for me in the moment and in the pleasure in the moment, and what's good beyond me. Like that's what the soul is, right? The soul is saying, how how am I going to make an, bringing, how am I bringing pleasure to God rather than pleasure to self, right? So, for example, we have someone right here who, might have had a debate within himself. I don't know. I'm just saying that might have had a debate. And the soul told him, you know what? Let me come and help out the minion. Right? Um, and to listen to that, all right, as opposed to might listening to, well, what's beneficial for me, right? The soul says, there's something beyond me that there's a voice within me that doesn't just say what's beneficial for me, and it's about what would be the right connection, the right way to, what would be pleasing to Hashem. And to hear that voice, right? And then to affect the body, that the body actually came here is quite an amazing thing. Now, what happens is sometimes we hear that voice in us. I'm just giving a beautiful exhibit A over here. Wow. For that, I gotta say l'chaim. L'chaim. That sometimes we hear a voice in us of the neshama, but our the body's desire is so strong that it doesn't hear it, right? Or sometimes the body, it can be a refined body, and it just naturally wants to do what's natural, right? And it brings us. For me to come daily over here, I'm not listening to my soul. It's so routine for me. It's like my body, it's routine. So everybody has their routine. We all have our routine. So for me to be here is routine. Am I listening to my soul? I don't think so. I think it's, everybody has what their body routine is. This is my body routine. So that's not change. That's not growing. Is that when the soul affects the body in a way that is beyond just a routine. Now, what that would mean for me, everybody has to for themselves know what that means for them. Um, uh, that there is a growth as a result that beyond the routine that we are used to. So, anyways, I gotta say l'chaim to my friend over here because, well, just the fact, by the way, just the fact of breaking a routine, obviously to do something good, not breaking routine. I slept in today, broke, broke my routine. You know what? I'm really lazy, and but to is in of itself, you know, l'chaim. So I'm not certain how I break my routine. I got to wake up earlier. Today I woke up late. I woke up late. So, by the way, with this notion, that's why really in the end you can't judge another person because your routine might be a very holy routine. But if you're doing it day in, day out, then it just becomes your routine, which means that's the nature of your body now, which is accustomed to something. Not like it's not that's not like you're wait a minute. You could I'm teaching every day, I'm coming to shul every day. That's beautiful. Yes, but it's my routine. Is that growth? Is that am I becoming more refined? I'm in the same routine. When when I'm able to recognize it and add to that routine in whatever manner it is, and everybody it's going to be in a different way. But the point being is that as lofty as the routine might be, and as holy as it might be, that doesn't make us more holy than the person who broke a routine or did something beyond their norm and did something different, new, greater, whatever it might be. And that's hard to know that. And therefore, we don't judge another individual. Actually, we do. We judge them favorably when they didn't break their routine. Right? When they seem to be the same, or actually the opposite, when they did something negative. So then the Mishnah tells us when you see somebody, right, not that they didn't grow, the opposite, they did something. So then we should judge her, we should don't judge that individual until you are in their place, right? Because you never know. So that's in the negative. But here we're talking about all in the positive of where is that growth. So what just in conclusion over here, sometimes you can have a very lofty soul but your body and the needs of your body and the desires of your body are so powerful that they don't talk to each other. So you can do something that inspires you soulfully, but it doesn't change you in your natural behavior. What the right mix is that we have a body that is open to hearing the message of the soul, because we're going to always have this conversation within us, right? Of just the self-absorbed way that I view whatever I'm engaged in, right? Which is going to be very, is going to be negative in the end, right? It's going to be negative. And then there is that lofty self inside of me that will be able to rise above and to and to see something more, to see the good, to see the divine in whatever you're engaged in. And to be able to have that view to inspire that, that in other words, that I can speak to the negativity in me, that I can allow that divine view to see the world in such a way and to see myself that way. Sometimes it's about ourselves, by the way. It's not about how we see others. Sometimes we're really negative on ourselves and we see ourselves in a bad light. Like talking that we have four voices, that's really negative to think of ourselves that way, right? And sometimes that's coming from a very, not allowing the soul, because the soul sees one view, a divine view. And to allow that to become then the way I sense and feel and view the world is a lofty thing. Anyways, I'm going to stop over here. We're going to go to Davin to climb up the ladder. As we said, there's rungs on the ladder that allow us that, prayer is a very challenging thing. For me, it's challenging. For me, it's easier to focus in learning. Prayer is harder to focus, to focus on the words, allow the words to enter, and to be absorbed in that. For me, it's a much harder thing. And I see how that talks to, how the body wants to go elsewhere. All right.